If you want to be creative, you have to jump into the fishbowl and learn from an outsider's perspective. Warehouse is an interesting place. Warehouse is a place where people, material, and there's a lot of other activities. Warehouse can be a make or break situation for any company. In warehouse, you can make losses or make money. I worked for an organization which was the largest competitor of Amazon in India. My top management want to cut down the cost in warehouse and make it profitable. They gave me this task to improve profits in the warehouse. For that, I have to cut cost. So how do I do it? Let's look at it. I went to the warehouse. I made a 5-member team. I talked to people who were working in ground and on the shop floor. First of all, I have to understand and learn the processes in order to improve it. So for that, I jumped into the fishbowl and started learning the processes. I found out that the material inward and outward and the charges of making the material shift from one warehouse to another and delivering it to end customer was having the maximum cost. Why it was so? Let us understand the charging of the cost of transportation. So transportation was done by a third-party logistics or a partner which used to carry material for us and charge in turn of the material shape which was given to them. So the material shape was very important, or in other words we can say the volume of the material contributed to the cost. So how this volume was calculated? That is a very important step here. So volume of the material in the warehouse was captured manually. By manually I mean people used to take measuring tape and measure the product length, breadth and height and then put it into the system. For example, if a volume of the product is 125 cubic centimeter, then they have to measure the length, breadth and height. So first of all, length, if 5 meter, then it has to be measured and put into the system manually. This is prone to error. For example, if somebody measure 5 mm and put 15 or 50 in place of it, you can have a larger volume which will result in high cost. We have to take solutions into account and improve the cost. We figured out and brainstormed various solutions for this. But the machine equipment cost was coming very high to capture the equipment weight, length, breadth and height. So for this, we have to make a machine or an equipment which was very cost effective. One day I was in a grocery store and I was amazed to see how easily we scan the barcode and then this barcode value input in the system. So I got an idea and we worked on this idea to develop a barcoded scale. This scale was made from the in-house material in the warehouse. First of all, barcode scale can be printed from printer easily, a normal printer. Then second comes the edge angles. The edge angles were readily available and were used to protect the edges of the material. Third is the pallet, which is used to store the material in the warehouse. So all these three things were combined using a crimping tool. When we have our equipment ready, we convinced the top management by showing a working prototype of this equipment. Top management really appreciated our efforts and published our efforts in the weekly newsletter. So this got a good word going in the company, and other regional team members of the various distribution center and warehouse managers, they approached us and we diffused the idea to other warehouse as well. So in the end, we prepared a manual preparation guide for the equipment and distributed accordingly to various warehouses. This helped them to make this equipment and save the cost as well. In the end, we realized some tangible benefits in terms of fixed and variable cost. We were surprised to understand and know that the equipment which we built was 1/20th of the cost of the equipment which was available in the market. This was a huge cost saving. On variable front, we were able to get less charged by the 3PL partners, almost 20% less what they were charging us earlier. So these two were the huge cost saving. On the learning front, I would say it was a great learning experience for me. Not money, but creativity, I would say, is required for innovation. If you want to be creative, you have to jump into the fishbowl and learn from an outsider's perspective. Outsider's perspective with passion to change and innovate is very important. So my motto for innovation will be creative, be passionate and be innovative.